Alright, so boom. Generally wanted to touch on the music industry. I took a huge break from it because the music industry is definitely the lion's den. I've been working at it I've been trying to get a record deal since I was 12 years old. Got two, didn't work out. So, as far as me in the music industry, it's weird, sometimes for fun I like to put my music out on SoundCloud and stuff like that, but I feel like when it comes to music, like you really need that platform. And I remember I've been trying to get a record deal since I was 12 years old. I remember being a teenager and performing for Steve Rifkin and Monty Littman, and they offered me a deal right on the spot. Didn't work out. Then a few years later, I remember singing about 4 songs for L.A. Reid. Literally got signed on the spot. He hit me with "You're not leaving this building until you sign with Epic." And it's just, I don't know, it's really, really a roller coaster ride because people don't understand how much hard work goes into being into the studio, cutting vocals, doing ad-libs. You could spend anywhere from 2 hours to like 6 hours on a single song. And for you to put hours and hours and hours of rehearsal into a project and then for it to not work out, it's just very disappointing. I actually got my start in the entertainment industry in general from Sean Puffy Combs. He put me in the We'll Always Love Big Papa video, and that was my first time ever being on TV. From then I was featured in Vibe magazine on 3 different pages, and then from then I got a modeling contract with CESD and then later with Ford, and my career was just an ongoing upward spiral from there, so I could never thank Diddy enough for that opportunity. And I still love music, but I get so discouraged sometimes. And I'll still put out music, like I did a Christmas record last year. I covered Santa Baby, and I'll put out covers to like Meek Mill's Dangerous by Meek Mill. I did a cover to that. And I don't know, I just feel like because it's not on TV the way that Shaft was and doesn't have trailers running, people just don't respect my music, or they may not just like it, which is whatever, but I'm gonna be 100% honest. I hear a lot of shitty music on the radio, and I'm just like, how did this motherfucker get a record deal? And I really feel like it's about the following that you have, it's about the platform. If people bang it in your ears all day on radio, eventually you're gonna like the ABC song simply because it's catchy. So all writers and producers out there, if y'all wanna work, let me know. Let's get it popping, because I really, really miss doing music. I really miss performing and entertaining. I love storytelling through film and television, but I love it through song and dance as well. And I feel like with my last situation, I was so upset. It was honestly one of the lowest points of my life. People always talk about the highs, but they don't talk about the lows. So let's talk about the lows a little bit. I feel like it's a lot of mental manipulation that goes on in the music industry. And I'm not necessarily talking about the executives. People will pit you against, like even how they have the Nicki Minaj versus Cardi versus Megan Thee Stallion. Like, why can't it be 20 female rappers doing the damn thing? It has to be one or the other. Or if it's 2, they have to battle against each other. No. And I feel like I was put in a situation where in my first deal, or my first time like trying to get a deal at a particular label, oh, we already have an artist like that. How do you think which one do you think is gonna be the bigger star? Like, why can't we both be, bing bang? But I was very, very depressed in between 2016 and 2017. I feel like my talent wasn't being used in the right way. I felt like somebody or people were vampires and were like kind of sucking me dry. And I felt like that my contributions weren't appreciated. So it's weird because sometimes you're fighting to make your point, and even though you're right, and God may even say you're right, if other people don't agree with you, sometimes the best thing you could do is just walk away. Just take a step back, walk away, and then you'll see. And sure enough, I walked away from a project and it went down in flames. So that is the greatest validation I could ever get versus me staying there and fighting and saying what the deepest depths of my heart felt and what I knew what was true. And people contradict themselves. They're literally wolves in sheep's clothing. And when I tell you, I felt tired, I felt defeated. From there, I was like, fuck music. I'm not doing this shit anymore. I gained weight. I stopped dancing. People would love my dance videos. I'm like, I'm not doing that shit anymore. Nobody respects me. And it's sad because when you have a record deal, everybody's like, oh man, if you wasn't signed to this label, I would sign you over here right now. I would have this producer work with you. And as soon as you're not with a label anymore, people are like, I'm sorry, who? I'm sorry, you're not on the list. And it's like, what? But what you told me, you know, that goes to show that if I don't depend on anybody else in the industry, I always depend and bet on myself. Because I know that with my diligence and with my drive to continuously keep going, no matter how many doors are shut in my face, I'm gonna make it. And nothing feels better than for everybody to count you out and talk shit about you, and they be at home and you see 1 to 2 years later that you're on TV and they can't escape it because you're in ads for this, you're in ads for that, you have this, and that going on. And they're just at home doing nothing. So I won. As Nicki Minaj said, shitted on them.